Welcome to the news leg of the AM show, and we start off with our very first story. Fire has gutted several shops at Kantamanto in Accra, destroying goods worth millions of cedis. The cause of the fire, which started Sunday morning, is yet to be determined. Firefighters from the Ghana National Fire Service were dispatched to the scene, but the fire had already spread to several shops.
In the early hours of Sunday morning, fire broke out at Abuja, at CMB, behind Cocoa Board, at Katamanto, one of the busiest clothes retail centers in the region. We will be speaking to a representative from NADBO to tell us how they intend to help the people.
First and foremost, we need to do the first thing by doing the assessment and taking inventory of all the households over here, and then we'll know the number of people we are dealing with. We can't just say we are dealing with 1,000 people whilst the number is 500, and we can't say we are dealing with 500 whilst the number is 1,000. So we need to really know those who have been affected and what belongings that have been destroyed by the fire, and to enable us know what provision to be made. We have already made arrangement for accommodation. We have made arrangement led by the MC. We have made arrangement to evacuate them to one of the schools and provide them with mattresses and the like to pass the night or two over there before we know what to do for them over here.
The municipal chief executive was also present to ascertain the level of damage caused by the fire.
As an assembly, we'll see what we can do to help those that are in need. With mothers and children, probably they may need a place to sleep. So that arrangement is already been put in place.
Now let's hear from the victims of the fire as they plead with government to come to their aid.
It was around 4 a.m. this morning when I heard a lady shout that she had seen a thief. Because I am a woman, I couldn't come to catch the thief. Later, the same voice started shouting that Abuja is on fire. When we came out, we realized that the fire had started from the bakery. Some people tried to quench the fire, but to no avail, till the fire service came. Unfortunately, they arrived without water in their tank. So while they waited for water, the fire started spreading and we had to run for our lives.
My clothes, my television, everything I own is burnt. I don't know what to do. Government should come to our aid.
Everyone here moved from other places to settle here for greener pastures. If we don't reconstruct the structure soon, we will be homeless.
Actor and political aspirant John Dumelo was also here to sympathize with the people.
You know, we are doing the limited registration just around the corner, and one of the guys I work with, his mother has her place here, and so they told me about it, and I said, oh, why don't I drive here and sympathize with the mom and of course the rest of the people. Apart from that, also the couple of market women that I also deal with in terms of my farming activities are also in this area.
Despite the level of damage done, there are still people trying to make a business out of this, especially the scrap dealers. My name is Emma Davis.
Well, let's get into the political terrain now. And the minority side in Parliament has expressed worry over the Minerals Commission's continuous issuing of licenses and concessions to individuals, mostly Chinese, to mine very close to water bodies, including despite the ban. Now, at a press conference in Wa, addressed by ranking member of the Lands and Forestry Committee, Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpuo, he disclosed that there was a strong evidence that government officials had engaged in the destruction of land and the environment. JoyNews Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam now reports from Wa.
The press conference by members of the minority in Parliament titled "The Unabated and Unscrupulous Destruction of Our Lands and Waters with Impunity," and addressed by the ranking member on Lands and Forestry, Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpuo, stated that the persistent campaign of the president and his government on the fight against illegal mining and mining processes have all turned out to be lip service.
Ghanaians have cried out against the purposeful destruction of our lands and rivers through illegal mining. As the cry is louder, so do the Galamsey operators and the willing agents in high places in government continue to perpetuate the practice. In this exercise, farmlands and rivers are destroyed, national resources in the form of gold is stolen, and communities and their future are destroyed.
Dr. Pelpo described as shameful and heartless a remark by President Akufo-Addo addressing the UAE Ghana Business Forum, praising the country's mineral laws that have stood the test of time.
Just 3 weeks ago, 23rd August 2023, an 18-year-old boy was shot dead and 2 others injured by security personnel of some Chinese illegal miners in Abrokofi community in the Dwaboso districts of the Western North region. The victims, who were members of the community, went to the mining site to work. The deceased, Kofi Arthur, was shot in the chest and died on the spot, whilst 2 injured victims, Joseph Tewia and Albert Opong, were shot in the thigh and lower back, respectively. This is what the president went to Abu Dhabi to hail as responsible environmental stewardship comparable to the best mining jurisdiction. A situation like this, where illegal miners can shoot and kill your citizens, is praising this as one of the best.
He disclosed that despite the ban on mining in forest reserves and close water bodies, the Mineral Commission has given out several licenses and concessions in 2022 and 2023 to individuals, mostly Chinese, mine very close to water bodies, including at the exact locations already designated by Galamsey.
They include Ankobra, River Ankobra, Pra, Tano, and Ofin, with licenses such as across River Ankobra, that is the area the license is given. You have Cape North Limited, licenses granted on the 7th of January 2023 to 17th of January 2023 to 16th of January 2053, mining in a riverside, very close to the river. You have ML2/47 alongside across River Tano and entering into the Boen Tano Forest. The application date was in 2019, and in 2021 the president banned mining in these areas. Just 2022, it was all ignored, and the license is given for them to mine there.
The minority side in Parliament therefore made the following proposal to reverse the negative trend.
And that's in support of Ghana, Rocha Ghana, which had been persistent in pointing out these things to government. That number 1, a public inquiry on the interministerial conference in illegal mining report by Professor Frimpong Boateng must be put in place. We need to have a public inquiry into it. Number 2, we want a revocation of the executive instruments EI 144, cessation of forest reserve instrument 2022, which will remove 361.50 acres of forest from Achimota Forest Reserves, which is the lungs of Accra. Number 3, pausing community mining. Community mining is destroying our environment. Given the fact that we have difficulties with monitoring and enforcing the practice, it is only logical that we suspend and eventually remove any attempt of community mining, which is a direct replacement of the galamsey practices, which is destructive to our environment.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Let's talk education now, as the sector minister, Dr. Osei has urged Ghanaians who seek to study in the United States of America to positively imbibe the American dream by coming back home to contribute to the development of Ghana. He spoke to potential postgraduate Ghanaian students at the USA College Fair here in Accra. There's more in this report put together by Harriet Akosua-Kwachi.
The U.S. Embassy in Ghana has launched an education fair to assist Ghanaian students in applying for universities and colleges in the USA. In the 2021-2022 academic year, over 4,900 Ghanaian students studied at 600 U.S. colleges and universities, reflecting a 16% increase from the previous year. Organizers of this year's fair say the USA will be providing financial aids and scholarships worth $7 million. Speaking at the Education USA Fair, Education Minister Dr. Osei emphasized the importance of Ghanaian students returning home after their program to contribute to Ghana's development.
I asked myself that I want to meet with a mentor of mine, former congressman from California, Dr. Melvin Diamond, and I asked him, do I go to Ghana, do I stay here? He told me one thing. He said, yeah, you've done very well. Your schools are great, but America can do without you. Maybe your country cannot do without you. He spoke to my heart. I decided that I'll come back to Ghana. And I came back to Ghana, and something I never thought I would do, I became a politician.
Cultural Affairs Officer for the USA Embassy, Lanise Brooker, assured the embassy's commitment to supporting interested applicants get their preferred universities and programs.
We encourage those who are interested in studying in the U.S. to go to the Education USA. We can help the students from A to Z, from the very beginning when they are interested, to help them identify the school that they want to go to.
Jacob Reckford, an Associate Director of the International Graduate Recruitment of Drexel University, advised students to conduct thorough research before applying to any university.
Oh, this has been a wonderful event for us. We're meeting so many talented, interesting, wonderful students. People, I know that from my experience coming to Ghana before, do your research on U.S. institutions. There are over 4,000 institutions in the U.S. that do master's fit your academic level, your interest, and your budget. So please do research and get in touch, because we always want to talk to you.
Postgraduate students who attended the fair expressed satisfaction with their experience, even though some couldn't find their desired programs. They hope the fair becomes an annual event.
It has been met, but I think the time is a bit short because the schools are many and you would have to go to each and every table to check to see whether the programs you want are on there.
So far so good. I mean, there's no negative vibe here. Like, so far, like, I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed, and I like how things are going.
Harriet Akosua-Kwachi's report for JoyNews.
Three thrilling days filled with exceptional deals have concluded in the industrial city of Tema as the JoyNews Ecobank Habitat Fair wrapped up its successful run. For those who couldn't attend and those seeking even more enticing offers, the excitement continues. Here's a glimpse of what lies ahead as we prepare for the mega fair in November at the Accra International Conference Center. Michael Ashali has more.
Hello, welcome to Tema. This is the Tema Metropolitan Assembly, where JoyNews and Ecobank has been holding their third JoyNews Ecobank Habitat Fair. Over here, we bring you nothing but the best players in the housing sector, right from buying your land or you want to own a house fresh. Well, this is the place to be. If you are thinking of how to put stuff in your home, furnish it, furniture, plastering, lighting. This is your one-stop shop for all your house problems. So one of our exhibitors, and we know for sure they are going to be there come November, is Global Lighting. And they walk us through definitely all that they have here. All your lighting problems, they have a solution for it. Thank you very much for joining us. What's your name?
My name is Nicholas Sowate, marketing executive.
Wonderful, Nicholas. So, Nicholas, you have a lot of lights. Different. I didn't even know we had this many different types of lights, right? What do you have for those that are going to come in November?
Okay, those that will be here. So we are coming in November at Conference Center, right? Yeah. Okay, so here we brought a few of our items, but at the main one we are going to bring wide varieties of Conference Center. Talk of different types of
the whole showroom.
The whole showroom to Conference Center. Talk of the different types of bulb from the 8 watts to 9 watts.
Which ones are those? Just show us.
Now, this is an emergency bulb. This is one of its kind. With this bulb, when the light goes off, let me demonstrate. When the light goes off like this, and you're in darkness, don't worry. Just take off the bulb, put it in the holder, then you switch it on. Then you use it as a torchlight. Then you can work with it. It will not electrocute you. When you get to where you want to use it, you can hang it. Then it gives you brightness where you want to use it. And the interesting thing about the bulb is it can last between 3 to 5 hours. When it's fully charged, 5 hours.
So I have seen Kent Grand Plus and there's Kent XL Plus. Really, these machines, what do they do?
Okay, so the Grand Plus and the XL Plus are both for borehole water. If you have borehole water in your home, these two are good for the borehole water to purify, to remove the salt from it. That's the reverse osmosis process. Yeah, now the difference is that this one is mounted on the wall and this one is fixed under your sink. If you don't want anything to show on your kitchen, then this is good for the sink under. But this one is for mounting on the wall.
Interesting. So for borehole, what if I don't have borehole and I have regular tap water?
Yeah, so we have these two machines for your regular tap water. Also for under the sink and wall mounting. It also goes through the same purification, but this goes through the normal purification because in our tap water there's no salt. So it just goes through the normal purification, the UV treated system as well. And then with this one, inside the tank, there's a UV in it, which keeps your water purified.
After going through all that has to be offered at the JoyNews Ecobank Habitat Fair, for many people, what you're thinking about is how do I afford it? What they're affordable, but maybe you don't have the cash yet, right? There's Ecobank, definitely, that are on standby to listen to whatever problem you have or whatever need that you have. And I'm thinking that they have a solution that meets you definitely halfway. Thank you very much for doing this with us, sir.
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon.
What's your name, sir?
I'm Winston Wobil with Ecobank.
Winston, so for many people, it will be hard to fund their dreams. How does Ecobank make this dream a reality?
Yes, thank you. So I think over the previous fairs and even at this fair also, it's become very clear that Ecobank is very ready, and indeed there are many testimonies to this fact that we are ready to support individuals make the dream of home ownership come through. And there are several options available. As we've said, we have the traditional way of taking a mortgage. And the good thing about the Ecobank mortgage is that it gives you up to 20 years to pay for your house. And moving now, you have over 20 years to up to 20 years to pay. We also have the other financing options of even the buy now, pay later, where when your building is ready, getting it fit to live in becomes a challenge for some people, because if you are taking a mortgage, you would have started paying and then your funds become a bit tight. So we have the buy now, pay later option that allows you to buy stuff like your furniture, your kitchen cabinet, your other electronic appliances to fit into your home.
We're wrapping up in Tema here, but what should you expect from the JoyNews Ecobank Habitat Fair? I have the General Manager of Sales and Customer Experience with the JoyNews brand. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Great. So, for many, I've spoken to some of the patrons. They like what you've put up, but they want more. Is there more that you're offering?
Yes. First of all, let me say that this is our first time in Tema. It's been very exciting. We've gone around the clients, we've spoken to the exhibitors, everybody's excited. I can say that we exceeded our expectations. I mean, Tema exceeded our expectations in terms of attendance, in terms of sales, in terms of leads that have been generated. Tema has been phenomenal.
It's our first time in Tema, that is the Ecobank JoyNews Habitat Fair. It's been an eventful set of days here. Patrons, exhibitors are happy. But we hope to see you sometime later in the month of October in Kumasi, and then again in Accra, and then in November we'll bring you the biggest of the fairs. That is the November fair. Watch out on all our platforms. We're definitely bringing you updates on that. You don't have to miss out on all the juicy offers and goodies that we give in to patrons that decide to come through the mega fair itself. For JoyNews, Michael Kale.
And on that note of the JoyNews Ecobank Habitat Fair, if you've missed it, there's still a lot more coming your way in November. That's how we cap off the news this morning. But stay with us, the news review up next.